This is not good enough. Dan Campbell, it is not working for you.
And it hasn't. They ain't won a championship doing it.
No. You might have some early success and everything, but the numbers weigh out. Points are valuable. Stop declining points.
Like, how pissed would you be if you were a cornerback instead of wide receiver?
At the beginning, I'm buying in.
Yeah.
But then you start hearing the snippering, especially DBs and wide receiver. We start having meetings on our own. Man, he don't know what he's doing. I wish he'd do me the ball. And it starts to eat away because there's no way you can be in an agreement. Guys don't keep saying, okay, yeah, go for it next time, coach. Good job. And now I got to go out there and stop them. They don't do that. There's a weird exchange when you're leaving the field after failure and they got to come back onto the field and they was still just drinking a glass of water.
A.J. Brown, 3 for 25 in an argument with his head coach who went after him. What happened to the Eagles and how did the Niners go to Philly and beat them?
Same thing happened to them during the regular season. Their offense was pathetic. They had like a high school offense. Very few reads, very few times they threw the ball in the middle of the football field. And A.J. Brown had complained about this. He said, eventually this is going to hurt him. You know, A.J.'s at fault because they're trying to get the punting unit on the field. They got stopped. And he's trying to rush them off the field so they can get the punt off. So that's the reason why he was yelling at him to get off the field. And then A.J. barked back at him because once you allow a player to do that to you, which we have seen over the last couple of years.
Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Oh, no. No, the only one could stop him is the, director of security, Big Dom there. Like the last 3 years, Dom is the only guy in NFL security that you know by first name.
And should we know the security guy?
No.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 82, Fully Loaded. I am Sean Mike. Obviously, it's Chris Carter. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. You excited?
82 episodes, yes. Very excited.
82.
Yeah. Well, the over-under was like 37 in Vegas, man. We killed that.
We murdered that, and that was very gracious if it was 37.
Right.
I heard some lower numbers.
That was before you were introducing yourself.
Yo, I just got done on the phone. I was talking to him today. I go, dude, how's everybody going to know you? I was talking to my guy about business. And I said, I got on a podcast, a dude who made a comment. He said, I wish the bald white guy would tell us who he is.
Yeah.
And so now every time I introduce myself, I am Sean Mike. And y'all know it's Chris Carter.
Yeah,
so.
and you see him around Boca Raton, holler at him. Hey, bald guy, you the guy with Carter. Yes.
That is true. I get that all the time. All the time. I was at a festival the other day. Guy come down. He was like, hey, man. Come down. He was like, I know you. And I was like, cool. And before I
mean, that's hard to do because there's a lot of bald dudes out there.
A lot of bald dudes out there. A lot of, and we were at, there weren't many near as many Miami fans as were Ole Miss fans. But before I could even say something back, he goes, "You did a podcast with Chris Carter." I was like, "Shit, another guy don't know my name." I said, "Let me introduce myself. My name's Sean Mike." So he now knows my name too.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Sean. Mike.
All right, let's start with the NFL, the playoffs. Amazing weekend. But this is one that I got to hear you talk about this because I was blown away. The Rams had to come back to beat Carolina, 34-31. Came back, final drive, 19-yard touchdown. Stafford, Parkinson. Stafford hurt his hand early, but ended 24-42, 304, 3 touchdowns, interception. Brighton Nakua had 111 yards, touchdown. Bryce Young, 21 of 40, 264, 1 touchdown, interception. He ran one in as well. What happened? Why did the Rams have to come back to beat the Panthers?
Well, Carolina's better team than people estimated, and they match up well with them. You could see earlier in the season, they actually beat the Rams in Charlotte. So coming in, people that saw the matchup and everything, you think, okay, Carolina backed in. But it's a game of matchups, and the way they matched up with the Rams. Now, the Rams had an opportunity second, third quarter to put a huge deficit that they would never be able to overcome. Correct. So Carolina was able to creep back into the ball game because they are a very, very physical football team, and they've gotten their franchise quarterback turned the corner. Like, he was very, very effective in this game. Really good game, but the difference is the same way it's been this season. They were going against the 2025 MVP in Matthew Stafford, and that was the difference in this game. I mean, a couple no-look passes, the wheel route to the tight end where the tight end's covered, he back shoulders him A couple of those dig routes across the middle where he's looking to the flat. Like, he's a special player. It's great to see, given not only at this stage in his career, I think 17 seasons, but his health coming into the season, very, very skeptical where he was going to be. Did he need surgery after missing the whole offseason and all of training camp? So the difference in this game, Matthew Stafford.
And he passed Kurt Warner, who they stood the ball all over the damn place, in postseason passing yards for Rams history.
Yeah, I mean, he's really changed the whole narrative as far as his career in Detroit. Being the first pick, him and Megatron, he was labeled an underachiever. Then he goes with Sean McVay, gets them in the Super Bowl, and then now later in his career, he just continues to build a resume that will end, one day with a gold jacket.
So why, hey, Drew, pull up favorite to win the NFC title. Why okay, so the Rams squeak it out against Carolina, in Carolina. But why is Vegas why do they feel so good about their chances to win the NFC?
Because their offensive defensive line, also their coach and their quarterback combination. Like, they got a lot of respect for that. And it's a very, very odd year as far as the quarterbacks have limited playoff experience. So when you look at, okay, number 1 seed, can they go to Seattle and be able to beat them? Yeah, of course they can. They're very evenly matched. Play against them all the time. So that right there, in Stafford, MVP season, man. When you have a guy playing
pretty badass passes, not looking, no look pass in the football field is pretty.
Yes, yeah. So when you see that, you see also who are the other quarterbacks out there.
Yeah.
You also see you don't have to go to Philadelphia. Oh, okay, that puts a lot more people involved in, okay, who can really win it all. And that's why Vegas has Matthew Stafford and the Rams in the mix.
Are they the favorite, Drew?
Yeah, Seahawks.
What is it? Seahawks. What is it? Plus what? He's getting there. He don't gamble, as you can tell. It's good. He's definitely not got a gambling problem. He used to say plus, and I didn't even say plus. He would get a different definition. Bears come back to beat the Packers, down 21-3 at halftime. Win for the 7th fourth quarter comeback win this season. Packers dropped five final games. Ben Johnson. What was the? Well, first of all, tell us about the game. Like, Jordan Love, 24-45, 323, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Caleb, 24-48, 361, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 20 yards rushing. What happened with the Bears and the Packers? Why were the Bears able to come back from that deficit and beat the Packers?
I mean, the Packers-Bears is one of the legendary, rivalries. And this was their third time playing, like, the last 5 weeks of the season. So it's not like you're going to really be able to surprise some people, but they really ran some concepts, and especially Ben Johnson in the second half. I really believe he outcoached Matt LaFleur. I think they outscored him 26-6, something like that.
Yeah, they won 31-27.
So the ability for him to be able to create offense, especially with Caleb Williams, like, it was really, really good to see. Because if you go back a year, getting a time capsule and go back a year, Caleb Williams could not have played that way.
Correct.
And to see the way Ben Johnson and the way he hates the Packers and his verbiage towards the Packers, and even after the game they won, and the whole handshake. And I mean,
what happened with the handshake?
Oh, he basically just.
No, I saw it, but why? What?
I mean, I think that he's going to be one of those edgy guys. And I do believe that from the first press conference, he recognized that the biggest rivalry we have are the Packers. Yeah, we don't like the Lions, or we definitely don't like the Vikings, but the biggest rival is the Packers. And then he made it known, as far as his own personal feeling, like he couldn't wait to beat the bleep out of the Packers.
Correct.
And beat Matt LaFleur. He said the coach's name.
Yeah, he did.
So I think it's one of those kind of things that there was a day that Matt LaFleur was the good-looking, offensive mind and everything that could change a franchise. Now that's Ben Johnson. I don't know if he's ever been on the corner of good-looking and everything, but young.
He's a couple streets away.
Yes. He's in the neighborhood, but I don't know about on that corner.
Yeah, he ain't on his corner.
But he will take his shirt off. He's been working out a little bit and everything. So
he's getting serious, bro.
Serious. I mean, the overall turnaround this program, Ben Johnson was the hottest coach. That's why he demanded the salary that he did NFL record for a rookie coach, $13 million a year, and what he's done in Chicago, getting that first victory. Caleb Williams, I mean, wow, coming from behind, like they really believe in each other, like they got a dangerous situation. And Vikings fans, it don't look good, man. Remember I was telling you during the season, I'm so worried about Love. I'm worried about Caleb. I'm worried about golf. Okay, Vikings fans.
Quarterback's important. He's important. And you all may not have one.
Yeah, maybe we can trade him with Harbaugh or somewhere, wherever Harbaugh go. But, that's the other one. Go ahead, man.
Don't get that one confused. Yeah, they outscored him 28-6 in the second half.
Yes.
All right, Bills go on the road to beat Jacksonville. Allen 28-38, or 35, 273 yards, touchdown, didn't turn the ball over, 33 yards rushing. Trevor Lawrence, 18-30, 207, 3 touchdowns. Did throw 2 picks, had 31 yards rushing. What happened? The Jaguars were hot. Everybody's on that bandwagon, and Josh Allen takes his team down to Jacksonville and beats him 27-24.
Josh Allen happened to him. And we knew this with no Lamar, no Mahomes, like no
Lamar.
No Lamar and
Mahomes.
Cincinnati.
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Yep. Like you don't have them. So you got to watch out for Josh Allen.
There's something about a new workout set that makes you feel unstoppable. The problem, buying new gear all the time isn't realistic. But when I joined Fabletics as a VIP, that changed. New VIPs unlock insane savings on their first outfit. So getting that fresh set boost is suddenly totally doable. Because I spent plenty of time in my life going from thing to thing to thing, and then I just get unmotivated because I'm not locked into something that gives me the structure. So it's been amazing for me. When I signed up as a new VIP with Fabletics, I had 80% off everything. Literally everything. I thought it was going to be one of those too good to be true things that didn't really work, but no, this is real. The quality honestly surprised me. Fabletics pieces feel like the kind of high-end activewear you'd easily pay a couple $100s for, but you get that same premium fit and durability for a tiny fraction of the price. At that point, the VIP membership basically pays for itself. And the fit, dialed in, no waistbands creeping down, thank God. Joggers that actually keep their shape. Jackets that are warm without being bulky, because I don't like bulky. Everything feels soft, breathable, flexible, and built whatever your day looks like. Workouts, travel days, getting back into your routine, or those New Year fresh start mornings when you just need something that helps you feel put together. Plus, there's something reassuring about knowing that Fabletics isn't just an online brand floating in the void. They've got over literally 2 million VIP members in more than 100 retail stores. It feels like joining a community people genuinely count on.
Fabletics already has incredible deals, and I've got an exclusive offer just for my listeners. Get 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. Just head to fabletics.com/loaded. Take a quick style quiz and be sure to select loaded when prompted to unload your 80% off. That's fabletics.com/loaded. Because he's the guy that he's probably the most talented quarterback that we have left. Mm-hmm. Like he can run the table, he can win anywhere. He's proven that before. I mean, he put that franchise on his back. Really good football game, though. My biggest disappointment in Jacksonville, great season, and you got a really lot of positive stuff to build on. But early in the football game, Jacksonville, it's a game of momentum. You're up 7-3. You have an opportunity inside the 10-yard line. They stop you. You go for it on the 4th and 2. Coaches, please stop doing this. Just kick the field goal. There's not that big of a difference between 10-3 and 14-3 early in the football game. But the points and the momentum, this is not analytics. You guys are not putting charts out there now. You guys are just calling this stuff because you think you have to be aggressive. But I guarantee you the over-under, more coaches are failing their teams because of defenses are so much more ready for it. Why? Because they're not surprised.
Correct.
Like the element of surprise is gone.
Correct.
And very few teams used to throw the ball in those situations. They know everything's off the board now. They know they'll throw the football.
Right.
So that right there, adding that to the equation, which is going to reduce your rate of being effective. Like, take the points. It's momentum. You kick off. The crowd's involved. It is not the same when you turn it over on down. You're like, oh, well, the defense is going to stop them. Not with the momentum. The crowd's not going to be cheering on that first or second down.
Correct.
As if you kicked them back and they were backed up. It is not the same thing. Like, read the room. Read the crowd.
Have some feel. Yeah.
Stop doing this.
When you also said a number of times, there's only so many plays, bro.
Yes. You don't have your whole playbook.
That's how many plays can you run?
And guess what? Guess what stops any good play? Penetration. Okay? And that can happen on any play that you call. That's why you can't just randomly say, you know something, I'm going to go for it. Because guess what? That left guard, that right guard, that center, direct line to the quarterback or to the running back, they can get whooped. They are inferior going against these defensive linemen, especially they're in a 4-point stance. Like, they can get whooped easy.
Correct.
Like, stop, man. Like,
But I mean, back when you were playing, and they didn't go for it on fourth down all the motherfucking time, and it was a surprise, and you're on offense, and you can see the defense, where defense is like, oh shit, they're going 4th and 2, 4th. They're going to go for it.
I think Belichick was the best example, and he only did it in games, especially where he thought the offense, and most of the time it was Peyton Manning. That was the first time I had seen it in pro football, where it was a calculated risk because they can score so many points. If I can keep them on the sideline, and if I can gain another possession for the offense, I'm going to do it. I'm going to coach unconventional to the way I normally coach, very conservative.
Correct.
And then we saw Dan Campbell. And then now we've seen the onslaught, just everyone. Now, I can understand if you're Philadelphia. Like, they have a weapon.
Yeah, tush push, yeah.
Very few. Buffalo.
Josh
Buffalo?
Yeah.
That's a weapon.
Right.
That was like literally.
He might get you 8 yards. He was carrying those guys.
Oh, man. He'd take him to the end zone. He was a 10-yard line taking them to the end zone on a quarterback sneak. But, coaches, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, let's do this the right way. It's just a slight adjustment to turn it back just a little bit. All right? Dan Campbell, it is not working for you.
And it hasn't. And it hasn't worked. They ain't won a championship doing it.
No. No. You might have some early success and everything, but the numbers way out. You have to give the defense credit. Points are valuable. Stop declining points.
Like, how pissed would you be if you were a cornerback instead of wide receiver, and you're marching your ass out there after y'all did not take the 3, and you turn over on downs?
Well, the thing about it is,
after a while,
we're trying to. At the beginning, I'm buying in.
Yeah.
But then you start hearing the snippering, especially DBs and wide receiver. We start having meetings on our own. Man, he don't know what he doing. I should do me the ball. Yeah, and it starts to eat away at, because there's no way you can be in an agreement. There's no way. Guys don't keep saying, okay, yeah, go for it next time, coach. Good job. And now I got to go out there and stop them. They don't do that.
Correct.
They don't do that. They don't do that. There's a weird exchange when you're leaving the field after failure, and they got to come back onto the field, and they was still just drinking a glass of water. Okay.
And they don't know why we don't have 3 extra
It's
points.
a strange.
And we're kicking off.
Yes.
Yeah, we should be.
Momentum.
Yeah.
Points. Momentum. Points.
Crazy, dude. All right, Niners. Niners go to Philly and beat the Eagles. McCaffrey had 114 combined yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Purdy was 18 of 31, 262, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Hurts 20 of 35, 168 yards and a touchdown, 14 yards rushing. Barkley, 108 yards, 25 receiving. A.J. Brown, 3 for 25 in an argument with his head coach who went after him. What happened to the Eagles, and how did the Niners go to Philly and beat them?
Same thing happened to them during the regular season. Their offense was pathetic. They had like a high school offense, very few reads, very few times they threw the ball in the middle of the football field. And A.J. Brown had complained about this. He said, eventually this is going to hurt us. Now, because he's a wideout, people don't listen to us because we talk all the time. But he had said this all the time. This is not good enough. Even when they were winning. This is not good enough. And the exchange that he had with the coach, AJ's at fault because they're trying to get the punting unit on the field. They got stopped.
Okay.
And he's trying to rush them off the field so they can get the punt off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why he was yelling at him to get off the field. And then AJ barked back at him because once you allow a player to do that to you, which we have seen over the last couple of years.
Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Oh, no. No, the only one could stop him is the, director of security, Big Dom there. Like the last 3 years, Dom is the only guy in NFL security that you know by first name.
And should we know the security guy?
No.
And what is Big Dom going to do anyway?
Oh, Big Dom. I'm pretty certain Dom's got a license in things that you need to get done.
Oh, he's carrying, he's ready.
And I do believe that Dom, as far as from a talkative standpoint, because I've never seen anyone in Philly and all the things that happen challenge him.
Okay.
It seems like out of control situation happens. Dom enters, control comes over.
He did control it. He did control it yesterday.
He's done some things too. Players on opposite teams.
He put his hand,
The running back, Scatterbook, for the Giants when he got hurt, that horrific injury. Dom dropped him off some Philly steaks at the hospital and everything.
Oh, he did?
For him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. But Dom is the man there. But
Dom, we're talking about the security guard.
Yeah. Yeah, they got an
NFL team.
They got to trade AJ.
They're going to trade him?
They got to.
Yeah.
How could you let him come back?
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch carefully, and I don't know about injuries, but he's a big muscle guy. Eventually, as you get older, those guys start having more nagging little things. And he did not have a great season.
No.
Like barely over 1,000 yards, but the stuff off the field, which is not good for the locker room, and I don't believe is good for the quarterback.
No,
anytime there's a situation that's not good for the quarterback, you got to look at moving them. And imagine this. I'm proposing the first trade for the offseason. Vrabel had him in Tennessee, trade him to New England.
Okay. He ain't going to yell at Vrabel.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Vrabel got his face bloodied yesterday embracing the guy.
He don't need Big Dog. Football playoffs are here, thank God, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the gridiron action. Playing an Underdog is ridiculously easy. Just pick your favorite player, go higher or lower, stats, touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, more. Get them right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So, as I look at the games this weekend, and I'm going to tell you what I'm excited about, because people will tell you that they're not, but I'm going to tell you something. I going into Denver, and I got Josh Allen, and my buddy, he's a Hall of Fame football player, Chris Carter. So I listened to him, we talked about stuff. And he was talking to me about how good that Broncos defense is and how good the coverage is. And the Bills ain't got like a legit wide receiver one. So I'm going to take under on Josh Allen passing yards. And I'm going to mess you up over here, Bo Nix. I'm going to take the over on Bo Nix. He said he don't know if the Bills can put pressure on the quarterback. I like Peyton drawing up a good game plan. So those are my picks going into the weekends on Underdog.
Call to action. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code LOADED to score $75 in bonus entry when you pay your first $5. That's promo code LOADED. Underdog/make picks, win money. You must be plus 18, 19 in Alabama and New England, plus 19 in Colorado for some games, plus 21 in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Verbatim. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. New York, call 24/7 HOPE hotline at 1-877-8-HOPE-New York or text HOPE New York 467-369. Bet with your head, not over it. See, he cut his face yesterday. Yeah. He's the real deal.
He don't need Big Dom. How about this? The Bears. Bears were not, obviously they kicked field goal with a couple of these real late. They were down with 11 seconds to go to the Vikings, 17-16. They were down 1 second. Obviously, they ended up kicking 4 minutes to go, 20-10 to the Giants.
Yep.
A minute 36, down 5 to the Raiders. 17 seconds, they were down a point to the Bengals. And then they were down 4 minutes. They were down 11 points to the Packers, and they won all those games late.
This guy's no different than the other great quarterbacks that we've seen. Like, I remember being on the sideline with Brett Favre. Be like, that's not a big enough lead. I remember being sideline, seeing Aaron Rodgers, man, being like, that's not a big enough lead.
We ain't
for
got
the Vikings
enough.
right there. Like Dan Marino, it's big enough lead. Joe Montana, and then now he's gotten Ben Johnson. I told you, man, these coaches and organizations, like they can lift your career or they can put your career in the gutter, and that's what they have with Caleb and Ben. Like, this is what you see. With Patrick Mahomes down all the time, right? Comeback. Like, those dudes do it, and they got one.
Correct.
It's easy to explain.
Did they, and because I can't remember watching it back when you was playing, but I also drank a lot, so I don't remember a lot of those things.
Okay.
Did they? So yesterday when the Bills, we knew it was a foregone conclusion they were going to score. So the Jaguars are like, bro, we're going to let them. So like we can't. We're just going to. They're on 4th and goal. We're going to let them score. We want the ball back. It's 4. We need it back. Did that happen back in the day as much as it does today, where it was like, hey man, it's 4th and 2. Or I'm sorry, it's 1st and goal. We only got a minute and 10.
It's still the numbers, though.
It is still, but did it happen as much? I thought there were more defensive. Am I missing that I thought there were more goal line stands and it was less apt to think, man, these quarterbacks are going to get us in the end zone? Or am I just delusional? It was always.
Analytics is not new. It's always a numbers game.
But do I think we had more belief in goal line defense back then than we do now? Or I'm wrong. There's not more plays today. It's not more susceptible to scoring.
Well, if you look at the offensive playbook in a short yards and goal line situation, it's so much more expansive
than it was.
I mean, absolutely.
Because I just remember goal line stands. 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down. Boom, we stopped them.
But it's really hard when you have there's so many plays you can call on, and defending the sideline to sideline. And if you chop guys, you're going to have 4 or 5 guys on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So now
it's 11. Yeah, it's however many against 7. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I think that it's just like the times you leave the casino and you hit big.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember it.
Of course I do.
All them other lashes you've been taking, you don't remember.
I just got one 48 hours ago. I don't even remember. I already forgot that. It was 48 hours ago in Vegas. I forgot that one.
You see?
I do. You're right. There we go. Thank you, Professor. All right. Denver has got Buffalo coming to Denver. What do you think happens in that game?
I think Bo Nixon and their offense is good enough to get through Buffalo. Buffalo doesn't have a great defense. I think that Buffalo matched up better with Jacksonville. Jacksonville did have a really underrated defense, top 10 defense, but their defense is not as good as Denver's. And I do believe the lack of wide receiver and the lack of a number one guy, it will affect this game to the detriment of Buffalo. Like, I don't see them being able to throw the ball.
You got Surtain, those guys. They shut down.
Yes. Yes, they're nasty.
They are nasty.
Like, they got a great defense.
The Broncos match up better against the Bills than they would have against the
And
Broncos.
they get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, outrageous pass rush.
Yeah.
The crowd noise, this to me is just like Josh Allen going to Kansas City. But it's not Patrick Mahomes over there. Mm. It's going to be that type of behemoth, that type of, epic performance. He's going to have to be able to pull out to be able to get him out. And typically you go into a game and be like, you want to play within yourself. If he plays within himself, they're going to get drilled. All right, he's got to play out of his mind.
Even Josh Allen, you got to play outside of Josh Allen to win this game.
Yes,
he's got to.
Yes, Denver with the rest.
Okay,
home field advantage, number 1 seed for a reason, and offensively, Sean Payton will come up with a very good game plan for Bo Nix. Like, can Buffalo put pressure on the quarterback? They haven't had a whole bunch of pressure all season, so yeah, I like Denver. I like Denver in this one.
Okay. Then you got the winner. You like Houston tonight against Pittsburgh? Yes. Do you like Houston going into New England?
Yes, I'm going with Houston to pull off the upset.
Okay. Because that was a rock fight, the Pats game. That was a rock fight. That was
their team. It lets you know too. So from a good standpoint, good news. You can win not playing great football.
Correct.
Because they're really, really talented.
Correct.
But no one else in the tournament has their left franchise tackle out, their right franchise tackle out. Okay, no one had been hit more than that, guys. New England. Let's not leave there thinking they got some great pass rush. No, they played against some stiffs. Like their offensive line is ass. Like, no, they're terrible, bro.
Yeah.
So know what you were going against, all right, compared to what's out there the rest of the way. Like what Houston is going to do, what you're getting ready to see over the next 6 days, because what they're going to do to Aaron Rodgers to send him to the quarterback cow pasture. And then when they get to New England, like May's going to have to run. He's going to have to utilize his legs because not only the rush, they have the best rush pass coverage. Denver's good, second, but Houston's got the best pass rush to combine tight coverage. Cat coverage. I got cats on defense, gonna guard they cats. Like, I love it, man.
Cat
Houston,
coverage.
yeah, they got.
So you loving Houston?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And
Aaron Rodgers better do everything he can before the Monday night game. He ketamine. He better be on some mushrooms.
It ain't gonna
he
matter.
better. Hey, he better get a sativa and an indica. Mix
he'll be
it.
playing outside himself, even if he doesn't play outside himself.
He might have to take a bong hit every quarter or something. Like he's gonna need something.
If I got the over under on that, I'll take the over. I'll take whatever he needs to take. Houston and Denver.
Well, Houston
will go to Denver. They beat the Pats.
I got Denver going all the way.
Okay, you got Denver going to Super Bowl. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so the NFC side.
Their offense is just good enough.
Okay, and the defense is that nasty. All right, so San Fran is going to Seattle. What do you think happens this weekend?
They run out of gas.
Okay.
I mean, Kittle snapped his Achilles.
Yeah, no,
I mean, that exploded. Like, I mean, you cannot have more unfortunate to elite players than they have. I mean, Fred Warner, Boza, him. I mean, like you're just not. But the best offensive player, non-quarterback, is on San Francisco. McCaffrey's unreal.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, run the ball between the tackles, run the ball on the outside, screen passes, flank him out wide as a wide receiver. He comes out, runs a route, goes out, slashes back in. Wide receiver pass.
Yeah, dude, he went up and got one yesterday that he yanked out of the sky. I'm like, that's a running back.
Yeah, down the middle.
Yeah,
yes,
that's a running back.
Yes.
He's a freak.
So for me, between the combination of McCaffrey, what he's doing, I mean, Trent Williams, man, gutting it out that left. I mean, goodness gracious. He had the boom box coming out the locker room. It was like they're real gangsters. Like, you got to have some mean people in football. And what Kyle Shanahan has done, what John Lynch has done with this roster coming down the stretch, no excuses, it's the best job that they've done from an administrative and coaching standpoint. And they've been to a couple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to get this team to the second round.
This time of year, I'm trying to stay consistent with eating well. But between work, workouts, and commuting, cooking just isn't happening. Tempo gives me fresh, balanced meals ready in 2 minutes so I can eat the way I want without losing time. During the week, my schedule's nonstop. Meetings, errands, late nights, and healthy eating is usually the first thing to slip. Tempo keeps me grounded with real meals I can eat in 2 minutes because I don't have time to cook. I haven't had the schedule to cook, so I don't default to snacks or takeout, because if I don't have something prepped, I will default to snacks and takeout in a minute. I'm trying to start the year strong, but long days have made healthy choices harder for me. Gives me nutrient-packed meals. They're already cooked and ready in minutes. Perfect for what I need, real fuel, and fast. Tempo delivers fresh, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals right to your door. Each meal is perfectly portioned for lunch or dinner and ready in just literally 2 minutes. That means real food, real fast, without the sad desk, lunch, or drive-through regret that I get myself plenty of times. With 20 new recipes every week made for the nutrient-rich ingredients, Tempo keeps things exciting and helps you stay consistent with healthy habits. Even busy athletes like Maria Sharapova swear by Tempo for balanced meals that help them stay on top of their wellness goals. And no matter your goals, there's a Tempo meal for you. Protein packed with up to 30 grams of protein, calorie conscious, even GLP-1 balanced meals. It's convenient, but also flexible enough to fit the way you want to eat.
For a limited time, Tempo is offering my listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/loaded. That's tempomeals.com/loaded for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/loaded. Rules and restrictions may apply. Like divisional playoffs with all, no, I mean, my goodness. Like, that's why Kyle Shanahan is really one of the top 5 coaches we have in the business.
Okay, so Seattle, you got LA going to Chicago. Rams, can they beat the Bears at home?
Yes.
Okay. Will they beat the Bears?
Well, the reason, because you told me earlier,
I know.
all these other games. Okay, check this out. The Bears played the Packers 3 times. So they played, and one game went overtime. They played 180 minutes, so 3 times 6, another 5-minute overtime. They played them 185 minutes. And Green Bay was ahead. No, the Bears were only ahead like a minute and 58 seconds. And they won 2 of them. So,
scary.
I mean, it's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. It's going to be hell of a cold. And the Rams, I know weather in LA has been bad, but it's rain and 50. That is not what's going to happen in Chicago. And Caleb Williams late in the game. Like, you're going to get an old-fashioned duel here. Matthew Stafford, I mean, bad back. He's going to be out there slinging it. But I got the Bears because of turnovers. The Bears in their defense create just enough turnovers, give them the edge. The Bears get it done.
And then you still like Seattle over Chicago to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
You like Seattle, Denver.
Yes. And all the Vikings fans will be in misery this offseason. The Sam Darnold, what could have really, really, really happened. Oh, I'm sorry. I got sidetracked.
I wasn't even asking, but I appreciate it. Yes.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy is not Sam Darnold. So.
It gets worse. Every time Sam wins, it gets worse.
I know. Think about, I was sitting at that, thinking about this the other day at the game. Lane Kiffin watching Ole Miss continue to win. That's got to be painful. And then the Vikings
and
fans
the truth about
Sam
he's pulling
Darnold.
for him to lose.
Of course he's pulling for him to lose.
They can't win without
He's a human being.
Yes, they can't.
Imagine leaving to win a national championship, leaving an attic.
And a number of the players that he wanted, they re-signed with him before he could get a hold of.
Correct. Like, we're good, man. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
The Bears, talk about the Bears yesterday. They had according to the analytics, they had a 4% chance of winning with 5:41 left in the fourth quarter. 131-27. All right, so real quick before we move on to college, your guy, A.J. Brown, didn't want to speak to the media after the game. Is that a good idea that he probably stayed away from the media?
No, because it's your job.
Okay. So what would you tell A.J. Brown?
It's your job. It's pretty simple, man. It's pretty simple. It's not your way. It's the professional way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth of the matter is, he went from being uber professional on and off the field to now in the last couple seasons, it's been like, man, well, who is the real AJ?
Yeah.
Even if you look at, they win the Super Bowl. I mean, they dominate Kansas City. And he was like, wow, this is still kind of a hollow feeling. This is all you get from winning the Super Bowl? Like, man, there's not more to it than this. It's like, this is about you, man. Yeah. Football's what you do. It's not who you are.
Correct.
It's your job, man.
Yeah.
Like you could be on the Ford assembly line making cars. That don't make you, you're not getting ready to come out as a Lincoln Town Car dog. Like that's just what you do. Like you can't get these things mixed up.
Correct.
But that right there, like we had a playoff game against the Giants in Giant Stadium, and we were down by 10 points with I don't know the exact time. I think 5 minutes to go in the game. They were in cover 2. 2-man, and I knew the nickelback was going to try to undercut me. And so we ran a pump route where I faked it out and hit him down the middle. The safeties were extremely wide. Very windy day, ugly throwing day. I called it, and as soon as I called it, I said, I got to split them. Mm-hmm. So the balls, I was in a full gallop, got a little away from my body, and the guy came from behind and punched it. Now, I had on one of those, rain jackets because it was so cold and everything. Mm-hmm. I had all kind of thermal stuff on. But I fumbled. The reporter asked me, after the game. I said, well, in my head, I knew we had to score twice. And to me, it was the perfect pitch. I was already a couple frames ahead. I already saw myself splitting those guys. Correct. And I score. Yeah. And then he wrote, Carter's calculated risk ends Vikings season.
Okay.
And I told him, he asked me, well, if you could do it all over again, would you do it again? I said, yes. Mm-hmm. I said, typically, when I was in my prime, I played the game. I could predict what they were going to do and get in spots, and it gave me a huge advantage. But, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. But, if I do it again, if it's set up that way. So, that's part of my job. Correct. But it's also, if you're going to talk when you do well, you catch the game winner, are you going to talk to the media?
Of course.
Then, to me, his play, that drop late, they overcame that. They end up getting a first down on the fourth down after that. So that wasn't a part of it. So why wouldn't you talk to the media, though? Mm-hmm. And he's probably going to say, well, I didn't want to do myself more harm. You couldn't do yourself more harm you've done the last 2 years. You talked about the organization. You talked about your teammates. Yeah. You talked about the franchise quarterback. Yeah. You've talked about it. You've said a lot. Mm-hmm. Now you don't have nothing to say. Season's over with. You ain't got nothing to say.
And you're trying to get somebody to pick you up and sign you and pay you. All right. So the Dolphins, thank you. They fired Mike McDaniel because it can't get worse. Who is going to be the next coach of the Miami Dolphins?
I don't know, because I don't know if Green Bay is going to be able to come up with a resolution with Matt LaFleur. Now, this morning they announced that, they're trying to work on it. He's in the last year of his contract. But if there's something that they want John Harbaugh as their head coach.
If the Packers want John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think they do?
Because his agent has some connection to the organization. There's some things there. And Matt LaFleur just lost his assistant general manager from Green Bay, went to Miami. So there could be some opportunity. But if I'm Green Bay, what I do is, because I like Matt LaFleur, I think he's done a good job. I don't think he's going to be the guy to get them over the hump. I would go with Harbaugh, because I do believe that Harbaugh collectively on the quarterback and on Michael Parsons in that defense, they got championship DNA. Mm-hmm. They're a young team. They got really, really talented. And it's a, legendary franchise. I think that's a great fit for him. I think also going to the Giants with the personnel that they have, quarterback, run a couple running backs, defensive guys can rush the passer. I think that's a good fit. But Green Bay, I would trade Matt LaFleur. I'm not going to be able to come up with a contract for him. Okay. So I like him, but anybody else want him?
I'll trade him.
Huh.
Because I can still sign him.
Because guess what? Baltimore missed out on that one. Baltimore missed out on that one, because guess what they could have done? They could have traded for Harbaugh, and Green Bay is looking for draft picks after the Parsons. So for me, I'm trading LaFleur. I'm trying to trade him somewhere.
Okay.
If the Dolphins and that general manager, if they want him, man, you guys can have him. Baltimore, if you guys want him, you can have him. New York football.
Give me some picks.
Or a pick.
Okay.
I'll let him go. Sean Payton got traded. Mm-hmm. It can happen. Hold on to him. Don't let him just walk out the door for free.
You don't get no value for him.
No.
Because here's the Dolphins.
Harbaugh, when he got fired, now he wasn't planning on getting fired. It was a phone call. He didn't even get a chance to plead his case. The owner there, Steve Bischoff, he fired him on a phone call on his way home. But think about it. Why don't I just say, hey, I haven't made up my mind? Because as soon as Harbaugh got fired, there were 6 vacancies. 8 coaches, 8 organizations contacted the agent of Harbaugh. So that means the 16, every team that had a vacancy and 2 teams that had a coach.
Okay.
So that's what you call demand. You know something? Let me hang up with you. Haven't decided, John, what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Click, click, and I'm calling. I'm putting it out there.
Right.
Feelers out there. Anybody want Harbaugh? Let's go. Anybody? Can I get a 1? Can I get a 1? Can I get a 2?
Why they
Can
not
I get a
do
1?
that?
I think they overreacted, and I think that because they knew the offense coordinator, Todd Monken, he had to go. Him and Lamar, those are the ones that don't get along. It's not Harbaugh.
It's OC.
It's Todd Monken.
Got it.
Yes. And he's the one put the information out there that Lamar was sleeping in meetings because the quarterback coach is T. Martin, a brother who been there, and he a brother.
Yeah, he didn't.
So we know.
He didn't put it out.
Of course. He could have been dead asleep in this meeting. He was not telling them. What?
Because we know.
Yes. And T. Martin been sleeping in a meeting or two before in his life. Oh, man, he's hanging out late. I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah.
All he does is play video games. I don't know where you got that. Todd Monken fed that type
Got
of stuff.
it.
So that's why you even hear Todd Monken did an interview and said, man, I could have had a better relationship. Now, a grown man saying that because most coaches don't say that. They don't admit that, man, I messed that relationship up.
Done better.
So Todd Monken was Harbaugh's guy. Harbaugh wasn't willing to make any type of changes, so Bischotti shot him.
And the Ravens didn't realize how much demand they would be for Harbaugh in the open market? Do you think they're surprised?
They knew it, but what they want to do is because the last 2 coaches they selected won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So they feel like they know what Raven culture is.
Got it.
And they feel like that once they fire him, they move to the front of the line and get whoever they want.
Okay. May not work out that way.
It's going to work out that way because they made an instant decision. They have a Super Bowl roster.
Okay.
They already have a culture. They have ownership DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Like the general manager and Harbaugh, they live right next door to each other.
Okay.
They share a fence. So, I mean, there'll be a sale out there, but they do things the right way, and they protect their players. And they are going to get someone that loves Lamar and is looking forward to bringing Baltimore their next Super Bowl with Lamar at the head of it. Because they're going
person will be better, you believe, will have a better shot than Harbaugh. Will have had another.
Well, Harbaugh already had one. When you go through these different coordinators and everything,
got it.
You did draft Lamar, and you did get 2 MVPs out of him. But what is the next level?
Yeah.
And that's why Harbaugh, that was his guy. That's why he had to eat it.
So here's what Miami has for top coaching or candidates. Harbaugh, Jeff Hafley, Clint Kubiak. Is that Gary Kubiak's son?
Yes.
Damn, well, this is father-son coach.
You're old, man.
I am old. Robert Salah and Kevin Stefanski. Who do you think is going to be the next coach for the Dolphins?
I like Stefanski.
You think
2-time coach of the year? I like him. Yes.
Okay.
As long as they don't try to trade Shador, I think he's a really good coach. Like, if you look at everything that he's overcome there,
yeah,
like, and some of the productivity he's gotten from less than quarterbacks, like, he's a good football coach, man.
Yeah. Like,
he really is. They did well in the draft this year. He was in an unbelievable situation. Gave a quarterback the most guaranteed money, a full guaranteed contract. Like, I know he wasn't about that. And then I remember him from his offensive coordinator's days in Minnesota where Case Keenum, I mean, he was getting it done with some regular dudes. I mean, regular.
Yeah.
Regular coffee.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Getting it done.
Okay. Now, you called this one. Pete Carroll was fired.
Had to. He hired his son as the offensive line coach who shouldn't have been offensive line coach. The offensive line was meeting without the coach on their own because they felt like he was a joke.
On their own.
On their own.
That don't seem like a Pete Carroll thing to do, but I guess I don't know.
Well, man, you get late in your years, you try to – there's so much nepotism too, man. Like, you're going to hire listen, I am not getting ready to hire my son. It's going to bring down the whole organization.
Well, we know you ain't.
No, I ain't about that.
You ain't about that life at all.
No.
Not even a little bit. Brian D-Ball, we know that. Giants. Brian Callahan with the Titans.
Out.
Out. Top 8 NFL coach.
Also, Harbaugh might be great in Tennessee with Cam Ward.
Where do you think Harbaugh wants to go? If he could pick if he could pick anywhere.
I think right now, man, the dude is overwhelmed.
Okay.
I think he's overwhelmed also by his overall popularity.
Okay.
You know,
because the demand for him is overwhelming to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to. I mean, what's the difference between Atlanta, Green Bay? I'm gonna be like hypothetically, Green Bay's open. So I'm gonna fall out the back door.
Drew, you might need to fix that, bro. You might need to make a move before Chris goes down over here.
And
you got it, bro.
Yeah. Especially like the Giants, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got Arthur Blank. You know, he got a blank check. Okay, that quarterback situation. What if Green Bay comes open? Okay. Do I take a look at Cleveland? I think he's got some childhood things about Cleveland, but it's really to me, it's about ownership stability, where I can win a Super Bowl, and who has a quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm not going anywhere looking for a quarterback. So for me, I'm not going to Miami.
Okay.
I can buy a house in Miami and still coach somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not going anywhere. So to me, Tennessee, Green Bay to me moves to the top of the list. The Giants would be second. Mm-hmm. First if Green Bay is not available. And I'm avoiding Miami. I'm avoiding Cleveland.
Miami?
No quarterback.
I know.
No quarterback. And they don't have the fan support that he's used to, like with the Ravens. Mm-hmm. Like he would be in for a culture shock in Miami, because Miami would be like, hey, Jim, prove it to me. Everywhere else is like he's a proven commodity.
Correct.
But Miami would be like, hey, Jim, prove it to me.
Plus, good luck getting a home field advantage coaching in Miami. Good luck getting those fans to help you out.
Yes.
Because the away fans are the home fans.
And then trying to get a team that's mentally tough that they can go in the cold and win when you don't have home field advantage, because it's cold everywhere.
When they're living in Miami.
It's cold and the wind's blowing everywhere.
Right. Except, it ain't cold here.
You know, it's not cold here. No. But look, we got on long sleeves. It's 75 degrees.
It's cold to me.
Thank you.
And I've only been here 5 years.
I called my wife this morning. She was going with her girls to hang out. I was like, hey, it's a little nippy out here. You better put a little something on, girl. No, you like to show a little leg and shoulder and everything. You better put a little something on. Try to be cute.
All right. On that note, college football.
Stanky leg. Let's go.
Miami beats Ole Miss 31-27. Carson Beck ran for a 3-yard touchdown with about 18 seconds left. Beck is now 37-5 as a starter after leaving Georgia for Miami. He was 23 of 37, 268, 2 touchdowns. Did throw a pick. Chambliss got rejected for his 6th year. He had won a Division II championship. I don't know if anybody's ever won a Division II championship and followed up with a Division I championship, but it's not going to happen for him. But he was 23 of 37 for 277 and a touchdown. Lacey had 103 yards, touchdown from it. So what do you think about that game that you watched, Miami Ole Miss?
Great game.
Yeah.
And Miami did some things on the perimeter where Carson Beck ran with his legs, and they threw the ball down the field more effective than they had the A&M game and the Ohio State game. But Miami, epic story. I mean, Beck being in college, I don't know how long he's been in college, 7 years, 8 years, or whatever, but his ability to play his best football in these last couple games. I think in the Ohio State game, he had 12 or 14 straight completions against that defense, best in the nation. And then against Ole Miss, who gave him a number of problems, he was able to be effective throwing the ball, but he was more aggressive running the football and put them in a situation, especially some 3rd and longs, that they could be aggressive on 4th down and be able to go for it. So Carson Beck playing at home in Miami, against Indiana, great matchup for the championship. Great matchup, but great job by Carson Beck also as far as his draft status. I do believe that now he is a 1st or a 2nd rounder compared to a mid-rounder. Mm-hmm. And the quarterback from Ole Miss is, to me, he's a 1st-round talent.
Yeah, he can play. And
leadership-wise, he came in there as a backup, won 2 national championships, did D2, and the way he responded the last 2.5 months of the season, taking over the starter there, leading them, the chaos coming down the stretch the last
that was
three
impressive.
3 weeks
all
with
that,
Lane Kiffin, not to be distracted. Like I mean,
the happiest man in the world that Ole Miss lost, Lane Kiffin.
yes.
He could breathe again.
Yes.
Thinking these guys are going to win a national championship without me.
Oh, he would. I mean, he would never been able to live that down.
No.
Even if he wins the national championship at LSU, he still wouldn't have been able to get that one because he could have had 2.
And they went and won it without you.
Yes.
Not only could you had to.
Oh,
they went, screw you, bro. We got it. Fly the coaches back and forth. We're good. We don't care.
Yes.
Let them go to LSU and recruit. We still win that championship. And they were, hey, it was one hell of a game. And having been at the game, I was funny. Flying there, I forgot because I was going there to do something else. And I was like, shit, there ain't nobody on this flight out of Fort Lauderdale. It's not a Miami fan. I just didn't realize they were going there a little bit earlier than I thought. So I, in my mind, was caught up with, damn it. And don't get me wrong. The Miami fans are great. I live in Southern Florida. I'm pulling for the Canes. I'm happy. It was great. But, dude, that Ole Miss fan base at that stadium, wow. That's all I got to say. So hats off to all the people that traveled there and raised that. And it's funny, too, because, not being an Ole Miss guy at all, I was like, damn, man, there were more shirts that I saw that were fuck Lane Kiffin than it was Ole Miss.
Oh,
It was some creative shit, dude. It was really funny, bro.
That's a hot one.
It was a hot one. But, hey, it was a great game. Great game to see. All right, Indiana fucking throttled Oregon. 56-22. Mendoza 17-20, 177 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Oregon turned the ball over 3 times. What do you think about that game itself, and then what do you think about the championship?
Well, this is the thing, and Indiana reminds me a lot of Philadelphia, the way they finished up their run last year, where they had a close game, like against the Rams. And that was the game against Ohio State. But, to me, that was the stamp of approval that Kurt Zignetti and the team needed. Like, they had some confidence, but they didn't have national championship confidence because they hadn't beaten anyone. The game at Oregon was a back-and-forth game. But to me, out of all the top 10 programs, to me, Oregon's the most overrated. Because they're also one of the least physical. Okay. And if you look at Oregon's performance in the last 2 college football playoffs, Indiana might win the national championship, but they're not supposed to be that much better than you. When you spend $30 million in NIL, right. Ohio State beat them last year by 25. The game was over at halftime. So you have been in the last 2 college football playoffs and potentially in the national championship game or the team that's going to win it. And you were no match, no match against these teams, like that right there is part of the story. But the confidence that Indiana took from beating Ohio State with that roster that they have now, they only scored 13 points. They only scored, and Ohio State missed a chip shot field goal late to make the game go into overtime. But the confidence that they took from that, you can see in the Alabama game. Well, how can I draw that conclusion? Kurt Zanetti told Indiana that they were a significant better team than Alabama. It's just a matter. He told them
it's a fact.
He said, we are significant. But the only way you can tell a team that is by matching against the team you faced the last week, the Ohio State. Like, Alabama is not Ohio State. That's what he told them. And then this following week, he let them know, hey, guys, Oregon, we beat them by 10 points in Oregon.
Correct.
They are not Ohio State. They are in the same class as Alabama. All right?
Who was not in their class.
They shouldn't be on the field with us.
Correct.
Now, also, they made one of the quarterback, transitions almost like LSU did with Joe Burrow. Now, I'm not going to say that Mendoza is Joe Burrow, but he throws the ball, the flight of his ball, the way he has chemistry with his wide receivers is a lot like that national championship team, LSU, that went 15-0 with Chase, Justin Jefferson, and that crew. Now, the wide receivers are not those guys.
Got it.
But the quarterback is really special.
8 touchdowns and 5 incomplete passes in the playoffs, Mendoza.
Yeah, against Oregon and Alabama.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, those.
Like, he could have been playing against the D2 and not done better.
Correct.
Like, no, he could have been playing against the D2 and not done better than that. Like, that's it. It's amazing. And if you look at not only those performances, but what he did against Ohio State. That blow, he almost got knocked out of the Ohio State game the first play. To be able to bounce back and to be able to steady himself and be able to do just enough, and the third down completion at the end of the game that sealed the game to Parker when they had to have it, Indiana, Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, that was a clutch throw. But the way he throws the ball, his overall leadership, he's a better athlete than you think. And at 6'5", man, like he's a really accurate passer.
What do you think happens Indiana, Miami, in Miami National Championship?
I think Indiana wins.
Close game or no?
I think it's going to be a close game. This is the thing that was surprising
Close being a
to
touchdown?
me.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be under a touchdown because what Miami can do up front, Indiana's offensive line is not that.
Okay.
Like they're going to have to throw the ball more because they definitely won't be able to run on Miami.
On Miami, okay.
No one has. I mean, one run. And also, the Ole Miss running back Lacey, if he don't pop his hamstring on that play, I think Ole Miss wins that game.
Yeah.
Because he was not the same after that. But Indiana wins. No, I'm going to say Indiana covers.
Okay.
Because it's been that type of season for them. And now they are undersized to Miami. If Miami puts them in the phone booth, I mean, Miami, their offensive tackle, the defensive tackle, and Bain, like they are going to have to play the game of their life. Miami's going to have to force 3 turnovers. They can force 3 turnovers. Of course, Miami can win. But Bain and them, they have to be in the storyline, and I do believe. Because Indiana in the Ohio State game, all right, this is a little Big Ten thing.
Okay.
If you look at the teams that were the least penalized teams, they were in the Big Ten. And a lot of the reason in the Big Ten, they don't call offensive and defensive holding. And in the Big Ten championship, I mean, Indiana's offensive line molested Ohio State's defensive line. So I'm just going to tell you, look at the officiating crew. I do believe they are not going to call anything. But Indiana's offensive line will be the story.
You don't believe they're going to call a lot in the championship game?
No, but they won't be able to block Miami, especially early.
Okay, got it.
Just like Ole Miss couldn't block them early.
Correct.
Ohio State couldn't block them early and late.
Correct. But in the Big Ten, you're saying they just don't call holding like
they just don't call holding.
Okay.
So their offensive line going to be clutching.
Are they going to get called in the national championship game?
No.
Who's the crew? They won't get
No,
called.
they're not going to call it because it's a championship game.
Okay.
But it's going to be so blatant. Just watch it.
Okay.
Just watch. Watch how they move. Jason Taylor's done an amazing job with the defensive front.
Yeah.
Defensive front there. And, man, those guys, their technique level, their technique that they play with, all positions on the front line, is superior to anyone that I've seen.
Got it. So Indiana and Indiana cover. That'll be a big day for Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, football. All right, comments. Mr. Bling67, always enjoy your show, fam. Thank you. MZ Rom. That kid was 29 of 29 on kicks under 50 yards. Now he's 29 of 30. It happens. Batters strike out. Players miss free throws. Golfers miss putts. Ravens drafted a new kicker because the league banned Tucker for most of 25 due to sexual assault charges. Nobody's perfect. You never dropped a pass or fumbled the ball? ? Come on, champ. Give the kid a break. I'm sure Tucker would have given us a happy ending. That's pretty funny, tongue in cheek. He's still missed. No matter the kicker for the Ravens, like he's still the reason they ain't playing.
Yes, I dropped one pass in my pro career that had an effect. Even the fumble that we talked about earlier in the Giants game in the playoffs. Actually, it was with the Dolphins playing against the Vikings in the red zone. I was in the end zone, and the ball deflected off my hands because I picked it up late, and then we had to settle for a field goal. So, yes, but I'm not a kicker, though. And I got hundreds and hundreds of other times in the same situation that I can go back and be like, those. So it's professional sports. I don't care what your resume is. If you decide to take the shot and you miss it, you should get critical because you didn't make it.
Correct.
Now, the criticism, it might vary, but it's all about being a professional. Like, this is not college.
Mm-hmm.
He was a college kid.
Different.
We would just be talking about the kicker and the act. Like Ohio State's guy, he missed a chip shot.
Yeah, Miami's guy didn't.
Never mentioned his name.
Yeah. Correct.
Now, Carter Davis, we know him from FAU.
FAU, correct.
Yeah,
so it's just you know him.
Yes, absolutely. But no, they're amateurs compared to professionals. And even the guys in college are getting paid. They're amateurs. Check their performance out. Mm-hmm. Even though they're being paid like professionals, they are amateurs.
Right, they are kids. Curb Church 1714. It's cool that you answer our questions in a segment of the show. Thank you. I've asked others about the UFL and QB development. Never got an answer. Much respect, gentlemen. So you answered this question. I think it was last week. MDS Rock 3. Great show as always. Football has been such a treat this year. I love your weekly breakdowns. Keep it coming. Football has been a treat. Tonique 2811. Houston went 9-0, but hardly any blowouts. 3 points and 4 points wins. I trust Aaron in Pittsburgh. Okay, well, good luck tonight.
What do you trust? What do you trust in it?
I trust Aaron.
And half those games, C.J. Stroud, the quarterback, was out. They were winning with the backup.
Yeah, correct. Chance Massey 7096. Chris Carter, one of my favorite players of all time. Love watching him talk football. He doesn't get into all this other bull. I love he talks strictly sports. Top 5 receiver of all time. Straight beast. These corners today couldn't guard him.
Well, thank you, sir.
At Silver _79. In today's pass-heavy NFL, with the current rule set, how do you think a guy like Dan Fouts would fare, especially considering he was passing for over 4,500 yards almost 50 years ago?
It wouldn't change. Like, he'd be one of the top passing offenses. He wouldn't change. Such a great offense, Don Coryell, Eric Coryell, so they always threw the ball not, but his personnel too. I mean, Jefferson, Winslow, the tight end, Charlie Joyner, Hall of Fame. So you got Hall of Fame tight end, Hall of Fame receiver, Jefferson, one of the most explosive, and some other guys they played with. So it wouldn't change.
Yeah.
Dan Fouts is good. Plug him in, time machine, anywhere, and let me know the results. If they weren't throwing the ball, when they met Dan, they started throwing.
He's Dan Fouts.
Yeah, Oregon graduate. Great dude.
W.F. Beasley. One thing great about Chris, I remember years ago he was on ESPN. He was asked why the Cardinals' defense started playing better in the second half of the season, and he said he didn't know. I shook my head and said, yes, finally somebody not going to make something up, a bunch of bullshit that I don't believe anyway, just to sound smart, to make sure they really know football. He's given me the answer that I know I should be getting. Why did the Cardinals defense start playing better in the second half, Chris? I don't know is the perfect answer. Okay. Jamie Gonzalez.
Well, they got better offensively, too.
Gonzalez,
so their time of possession, they weren't out there as much. They were a little undersized. So the less plays, the more effective the defense can be. And guess what? Their offense not only time of possession, their offense starts scoring some points behind Jacoby Brissett.
But to my man's point, you don't have to make something up if you don't know. Sometimes you just don't know.
No.
Even you, sometimes you just don't know. I don't know why he did that, dude.
No.
I don't know.
But the other stuff that I just said, I just made that up, but it's drawn off of really conclusions, though. All right? Some facts and some filler.
That's an educated answer. Like a hypothesis, an educated guess.
Yeah, I got a couple cornerstones, and then I give you a little in between, a little bull in between.
Oh, shit. Jaime Gonzalez, 4371. H-Town, baby. Let's go. CC knows his shit. He does love Houston. MCA 217. Chris, what's your analysis about Lincoln Kienholz transferring to Louisville? Is he a good fit for Jeff Brom's scheme at Louisville?
Lincoln Kienholz has been
Lincoln Kienholz. My fault.
Okay. It's good, bro.
I did the best.
Dude's from South Dakota, man.
Really?
Great athlete. Though.
Okay.
3-sport athlete there. Been at Ohio State for 3 years. And they just over-recruited. Now, his best opportunity was probably last year. Then they went out and got the kid from Kansas State, Will Howard.
Yeah.
So he was the backup to Will Howard. And then it just happened. Coach Saban leaves, so we get Justin Sand from the portal from Alabama, him and Caleb Down. So it just happened that he got over-recruited.
Correct. He didn't do nothing. He just got, correct.
No. Good player, hadn't been hurt, dual threat, can run it and can throw it. Him and Sand were in a competition through the spring, and then Sand just barely won it. In the fall, as Coach Day would say, "Oh man, he just barely
squeaked by." Yeah,
I mean, and that was a huge decision because they were facing Texas the first game, so a lot of people were thinking they're going to go with the veteran Keyhole compared to going with Justin Sand. Justin Sand is a special thrower of the football, and you can see why Ohio State decided to go with him. as a redshirt freshman. So, yes, Louisville is getting a very good quarterback. I believe Brom's one of the better quarterback coaches that they have in the league. They also have some explosive players on the outside. So, Louisville, they're going to be predictably an explosive offense, and they should be one of the favorites in the ACC this year.
Okay. Yes, you like it. ALLNG.
Wait a second. Let me go back to the previous question. I know Sean well enough. Sean's like, I hope Chris knows this dude.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something right now. I got the comment, and I was like, and I'm like, because I didn't want you to be like, bro, who the fuck is that? And I'm like, I'm reading, and then he sent it me really quick, and I was going to Google it. And I'm like, I don't even know who this dude is. Right. I started reading the question. I was like, oh, that just should have went on at Lincoln Kind holds at Louisville. We're talking about Louisville football, so I'm fired up. But I'm glad you knew him, bro.
I got you, dog.
Because you would have been like, dude, what?
I got you.
But not my fault. Like, I don't even know who that dude is. So, ALLNG, Ingersoll. Chris Carter, I love you. I'm a woman who loves football, and you're a part of a fraternity. I trust the information that comes out of his mouth as far as inside information. So, you got a fan there.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Nathan Butler 78. I'm not sure why anybody keeps calling Brian Flores a candidate for the Giants position. He is literally suing the Giants right now. Why would they do that? He's suing the Giants or Dolphins?
Well, the owner of the Giants is one of the Patriots. He's suing the league.
Okay.
And I haven't heard anything that specifically said that the Giants were. I've never said that he was the favorite to be that job. But if there's a head coaching job besides the Dolphins, which everything he said about the Dolphins was right.
True.
Incorrect.
Correct.
So, to me, with your defensive personnel, if he hires or if he brings Josh McCown with him from the Vikings as the offensive coordinator to coach up Dart, and he handles that defensive, let me tell you who wouldn't like that. Philadelphia, Washington, and Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't know about you as a Giants fan, but let me tell you who your opposition who don't want is the Giants head coach.
Guy Beeflo. Yeah, they don't want him there. MDS Rock 3. Will we see Baltimore in the playoffs now that they fired the coach? Is Lamar going to be able to make that happen?
Baltimore will be back in the playoffs. They should have been in the playoffs this year. They're not going to be in the playoffs because they fired Harbaugh. They're going to be in the playoffs because they're going to be healthy. All right? If they are healthy, this is the worst season for Lamar. He will be a lot healthier, and this is how things work out. They're going to get a good head coach. It's a great organization. They're going to reboot it, and they'll be right back into the playoffs.
Okay. Tim Marshall, 5933. Chris Carter has to be stopped. He says some of the most unnecessary and idiotic things. He says some good shit that's really funny and crazy, and sometimes he does have to be stopped. Ain't no doubt about it. But you ain't gonna stop though.
Stop from what?
Ain't gonna be stopped.
Stop from having a good time.
That's what we're saying. No, I take it as a compliment. If he was criticizing you, I missed it. But
I mean, it's not the gospel, but it's it's the world according to me, how I see it. That's what you asked me my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. JZW55. Mike McCarthy is a much older coach with the same disposition as McDaniel. I don't see what you gain from hiring McCarthy there. They won't be any better player-wise. McCarthy would not be an upgrade from McDaniel. Scour the league for a young guy no one sees coming. What are your opinions?
Okay, first of all, Mike McCarthy and Josh McDaniel, their careers as head coaches are drastically different.
Right.
And people's overall response to Mike McCarthy as an individual, a Pittsburgh guy, like, no one ever said they didn't like Mike McCarthy. You might I don't like what he does. I don't like the direction of the team.
But as a person,
no one said I don't like that guy. And he's been in some tough situations. That coaching in Green Bay, Mike Holmgren, following him, that's not an easy job. Jerry Jones, all those years, not an easy job. You know, to me, Mike McCarthy should be one of the top 3 favorites, you know, in the coaching range. If you're trying to offensively put a product out there, and he's got championship pedigree. He's going to do right by you, too. Like, I like him. I like his moral compass. I like his football. I like his X's and O's.
Okay.
Good dude.
2 things that I thought were stupid fun to memes I saw. They had one that had Mendoza and his coach, and they said the happiest quarterback in NCAA history never stopped smiling, and a coach who's never smiled once in his life. And a picture of Signetti and Mendoza sitting next to each other. And then they had McDaniel, a picture of when he started with the Dolphins and when he was left the Dolphins. My man said he looked like he worked in the library when he got there. He looked like a drug dealer when he left, but he still got fired with the way his hair and the way he did his stuff up. So, well, hey, man, it's going to be a great weekend. Great college football, great NFL. Thank you for all you do, Chris. I really do appreciate you, brother. And we appreciate y'all. Keep commenting. Please share, like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week.
Chris Carter must be stopped.